Now we're all being listened to.
All
So,
right.
Does the recording bot come with the soothing music as well?
the recording bot does come with soothing music. Actually, the recording bot can't hear the soothing music, so recording bot gets to be musically deaf. He'll get upgraded at some point.
That's sad.
There's really nice music
Aw.
that you are all missing out on. You should feel ashamed.
Actually, I need to. If I make a burner account on Roll20 for it, then I can probably make him listen to the what is it called? I can make him listen to the audio on Roll20 as well, so everyone can hear it. So,
Hello, Sarah.
hello, Sarah.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Jeff.
Sarah.
So we'll go around. Why don't we have anybody introduce themselves so voices can be recognized and all that stuff? I think she recognizes pretty much just about everyone, but let's just go through it. You know, Caleb the DM, Izzy.
I'm Izzy, and I'm Kyra, the Oracle.
Really?
I'm really. Or I'm Shane, really. Also, I play Indra the Monk.
Henry?
I'm Henry. I'm playing Renard Zorro, the Bard.
And then Philip.
Well, hello, I'm Philip. I'm playing Risotto, a
Something.
arcanist, peri-blooded ASMR. That's right.
All right. You're playing D&D. That's what you're playing. All right. So, to start off with, I want everyone to roll me a d20 to start with.
2.
11.
3.
All right. So we got 11, Pika, 2, Henry.
This is golf, right?
Yes. 3. Really?
15.
15 for Kyra. All right. That's trying to make a list for me. Don't do that. Kyra. All right. And so to start off with, I just needed to do that to know who's going to be the first character to go in the first game of Keltara Primal, because that's what we're going to call it. So that's a better introduction because I should have done that first, but, you know, recording. Okay, so that means that the first person to go is going to be Kyra.
Hello.
So I'm going to I'm going to cut off the music because I don't have appropriate music for this. So let's start off with this. So to get you guys kind of in the mood, Keltara is a fairly young world. The setting of it is, let me think of the good way to put this. So you all would pretty much know this, just growing up. Growing up in Keltara is not exactly the easiest thing nowadays. The world itself is in a lot of kind of turmoil. There's 3 main factions on the continent that you guys are familiar with. The factions tend to be the humans, the dwarves, and the elves, kind of all with the respective kingdoms of Brogumble, Ilia, and Arphons. Arphons is the human kingdom, and it is actually a pretty recent development in the world. What it does, pretty much where they kind of came from is kind of a harsh story, but for quite a number of millennia, both dwarves and elves were the dominant races that just kind of pretty much had a stranglehold on the entire continent. And humans were kind of like these experimental side slave race that everyone kind of used as kind of convenient slaves. About 850 years ago, there was a revolt led by some humans that just were disenfranchised, tired of being slaves. You know, they'd grown up being slaves, had always been slaves, and they finally had enough power and support to break free of their bonds. After about 800 years, they've finally established a pretty solid foothold as a nation, and the other 2 races, the dwarves to the west and the elves to the east, have now kind of begrudgingly accepted them as a legitimate nation. At the same time, the humans know that their only hope of survival is through expansion, is through staying aggressive, because though they are they are stronger than they used to be, the elves and the dwarves are still quite ancient races, and any sort of weakness could be pounced upon. So there's kind of this constant state of war, skirmishes, battles, and turmoil that's kind of going on in the world. Due to this kind of sudden loss and attack and fighting on land, a lot of towns and villages and small kind of townships, they're kind of finding themselves at a loss to defend themselves against some of the natural dangers of the world. Monsters, undead, magic and nature just kind of flows across the world in really just destructive and dangerous ways. There's these little villages, they'll just get attacked and test. Okay, cool. So yeah, we had a bit of an audio error there. We are now back to recording. I'll keep an eye on that. So caught most of what I said, so didn't really miss it. So this is kind of the world that you guys live in. Turmoil, danger, and everyone's just kind of out for themselves. I see what you guys are drawing on there. And so to start with, we have you, Kyra. Kyra, the first thing that you kind of realize is just the mixed smell of blood, perfume, and death from where you're at right now. You don't think you're ever going to forget this. As you kind of look around and blink, you see around you is your temple. There's dead, dying, and healing, and just terrified, soldiers and kids. You can't even hardly recognize some of their races because of how mutilated they are and just how bad condition they are. Your temple has been doing its best. There was a small skirmish that happened last night, and you and the rest of the sisters and some of the fathers and priests, they've been working day in and day out to try and just heal whoever comes in their doors, and you are just exhausted. You are out of energy, you're out of time. And the first day of summer is only a few weeks away for some of your important, for some of your very, very important religious day. And some of the acolytes are now also starting to worry about, there's been so much fighting and so much battle happening that they're worried that the ground's going to be tainted. There's been some hope and some whispers that the warriors are going to pull back and ask for a truce, and that, the temple can say, hey, can you stop for just a little bit so we can have our holiday, our holy day, basically. And just after a day's work of healing, you finally manage to, you see that a young boy, you think he's probably elven, gets put in front of you, and you see he's bleeding just profusely from a chest wound. And Kyra, what do you do?
I guess I'm going to attempt a heal check.
Okay. And make sure you're kind of reading off what you roll and then probably what your final modifier is. So those at home, i.e. Sarah, can can know what the roll was. So even if you type it out, you have to probably just mention it. All right. Make a few notes here really quick. Kyra?
I'm waiting on you, DM.
I said you rolled. Do you have your sheet? You tried to heal check. You didn't say anything.
Okay, well, you didn't confirm if I could go.
I said, yeah, go ahead.
18.
All right, so you get an 18. You look at this kid and just kind of putting your paws over him. You see this chest wound, and it's fatal. You know that there's no way this kid's coming back from this. You put your paws down on him, and you very kind of calmly just give him as much comfort as you can, as he's kind of starting to pass into it. And while you do this, do you want to describe yourself, Kyra, so everyone can get an idea of what you look like?
I'm still in the process of creating her at the moment, so.
Well, what's your race? What's the general gist? You don't have to be specifics. Just, Artie, would you like me to describe it for you?
Well, so far she has kind of long hair that's braided into one long, thick ponytail. She is adorned with golden jewelry, and her robes are white and with gold trimming. She is a lighter furred, like feline who is probably more beautiful than the average furred one. And she has brilliant golden eyes that basically catch the same kind of gleam that her jewelry and the trim is similar to.
All right. And as you kind of hold this boy in his last few minutes, the revered catfolk oracle, Perduan, as is known in polite conversation, you feel a tap on your shoulder. As you turn and look, you see it's one of the younger acolytes. You're familiar with her. She's just a young girl from the nearby village, and she kind of gestures to you. She says, "Please, Lady Kyra, you've been working for so long. You need to take a rest."
All right, young one, let me help ease this one's passing for just one few minutes.
You spend a few more moments sitting with this boy until you are pretty sure that his body feels cold, his arm goes limp, and you know that he has passed. Standing up, you follow their gestures, heading through to a small little annex room, just kind of for meals and cleaning themselves up. You quietly clean yourself up in a small wash bin that's put off to the side for seems like the purpose. It's very little clean water left around here with all the blood and gore and gristle that you've had to deal with. And you see that they have set aside a meal that you're pretty familiar with. It looks like they put down some smoked fish and some sunberry wine for you. And they kind of bow to you and they said, "Please, Lady Kyra, eat."
Okay, I decide to partake in my meal.
All right. Smoked fish is smoked to perfection. The perks of being who you are, you get very good food no matter what the time of day is. And you take a nice big gulp of the wine, one of your first drinks, and you can't even remember how long. You're not sure if you've eaten or drank today. And as you turn to thank them and you open your mouth to, show your appreciation, no sound comes out. For a moment, you're confused. You try to say something again. And then you realize that not only is no sound coming out, but no breath is passing your lips. You reach down to your throat and you start grabbing it. Panic starting to set in as you try to breathe, as you try to get any sort of airflow through your throat, but it's closed up. You try taking an intake of breath only to feel pain in your throat, and you fall to your knees, choking and trying to cough just with no sound coming out. You reach up, look up the acolytes, the people who have cared for you, who have helped you, who you've confided in, and they look on stoically as if they're watching some sad event happen. You fall to the ground, face first, reaching out with one paw. And the youngest girl, the one who originally came to you and asked for you to leave, she leans down and she pats you on the hand. And she whispers in your ear, "All hail the Dawn Father." And your vision fades. And all that you know is lost.
So, did you have a backup character?
Roll a new character.
All right. Well,
Boy, howdy.
Next character, you're about to be thrown into a meat grinder.
The next character is Risotto. Risotto, you've got a complex soul. Your travels have taken you far and wide, working as a scribe, odd jobs, just kind of anything you can get your hands on, anything that provides some semblance of meaning to your life. This last job has left you pretty what's the word? It left you pretty tired. It's not your usual scribe job, but again, you're not unused to hard labor. It's not your favorite thing to do, but it pays the bills, gets you fed. This last job, to be accurate in describing it, you were helping you're helping an aged senior farmer with his barn. A little bit of side spells here and there, help mend some of the rafters and fix them up and make them all nice, and help him out because this old man obviously can't lift even with you and your background. This old man looks like he can lift even less than you can, so he's appreciative for the help. And after a really long and hard day's work, you wipe the sweat from your brow and looking up at this, it's a modest barn, but but considering where you started and the ramshackle state it was in, you think you've done a pretty good job helping him fix it up. You turn to the old man. It looks like he must be in his 70s or 80s. You're not sure if many people don't live to be this old, and so you can tell that he's trying his best to hold on there and hang in there for his family and provide as best he can. His hands are wrinkly and old, and his face is cracked and just in general very it's very I want to not say old manish, but that's about what you can picture. Very little hair, liver spots, and you see while you're turned away, he's holding out his hat, his wide brimmed straw hat that he wore in the sun to keep it off his shoulders. And as he holds it out to you upside down, it says, I can't thank you enough for what you've done. This is what I've been able to collect from our savings. Please take it. And you see inside the hat is a collection of, looks like some copper coins, maybe a silver. What do you do, Risotto?
Thank you, sir. I pick up the copper coins in one hand and pocket them, but I do hand back the silver to him. Here, I'm sure a man of your age probably has a lot of grandchildren to take care of.
I do. You're a most generous, kind sir. But please, my wife and I, we would love to have you over for dinner as for thanks. We've appreciated your company and we've been lonely.
Oh, well, I can never turn down a warm meal. I would love to.
He smiles warmly and pats you on the back. He takes the gold out of not the gold, excuse me. He's not that rich. He takes the silver out of his hat, and you guys start to exit the barn.
Yeah, as he pats my back, I really flinch a lot.
And then as you're leaving the barn, he kind of turns his head and he looks like he's about to say something, and his eyes go wide. He says, sir, watch out! I need you to make me a reflex save, Risotto.
All right. Let's see here. All right, +1. 2 at 13, so 14.
All right, 14. Risotto. The last thing you know is that a large, very heavy object strikes you in the back of the head. It for a moment there's just infinite pain. It feels like fire erupts from the base of your head. And then you fall to the ground instantly, out of all comprehension of knowledge. All right. Next up, we have Indra. Indra, you're having a party. Raucous laughter fills your ears. You're having good food, good companionship. You've been invited to a local banquet by this new scholars guild that got started. It's kind of meager at the moment, but a lot of important investors have come by and put money into this. They've really poured their effort out into trying to collect knowledge. The humans, elves, and dwarves. There's all sorts in here. It's a really kind of coming together of cultures and interesting things. And just you being around, you've asked questions, tried to learn, and displayed some interest. And they've they as a show of good faith, they've decided to invite you in, just so you can kind of see how these cultures do that, as being as separate as you are.
One thing, I can also speak Elven, Dwarven, and Common, so I can speak with all these. But
I am 100% aware of that. You are the life of the party, by the way. You're a newcomer. Like most of the time, they have kind of eccentric investors who don't really pull their, they don't they don't show their faces very often. So to have somebody real, somebody just kind of, as far as they know, a commoner, just to be kind of showing interest in, the gathering of knowledge, they are all excited to talk to you and learn your experiences. And you are being, Mr. Popular right now. So as you sit down and start enjoying your meal, you see a short, squat dwarven man. Looks like he might have come straight from the mines, but he's wearing, nice thick glasses, and it looks like a robe a little bit too long for him. And he claps you on the shoulder. So you said your name was says Indra, right? So where do you come from?
Yes, sir. Indra Fleetpaw. I come from the Clouded Isles. Far ways away from here.
Oh, the Clouded Isles, huh? I ain't never heard of those places. That's impressive coming from me. What do you guys do for a living over there? Farming? Hunting?
Not many people have heard of it. My people live meagerly. Most of us farmers, fishermen. A lot of us find the bounty in the water.
Well, he kind of claps you on the back again. Well, I'm glad you traveled all the way here. Well, in the pursuit of knowledge and understanding, maybe we'll get there. Maybe our little guild will get a chance to go see your culture too. I'd be excited to go myself.
Maybe one day. It can be difficult to find, as the rumors tend to lead.
Well, I always appreciate a challenge. And he takes a big swig of his ale. Party continues, kind of similarly. A couple of questions here and there, and you answer as politely as you can, and talking to everyone. You kind of hear this like thunderstorm start outside, and but it's warm. Fire hearth is going. Doesn't seem to be any leaks in the roof of this little like tavern-like place. It's more of a cafeteria type place, but still interesting, still fun. After a while, you realize that the different sound. For a moment, you think it's thunder, but then after a few seconds, you realize that's not thunder. There's someone busting. There's someone hitting the door. Make a perception check, Indra. Dexter, do not eat my pants.
Perception. That's a 28.
28.
Holy shit.
You just kind of sit back, close your eyes, and you focus very carefully. Your tuned ears listening. Even in your hidden form, you can hear very, very acutely. And you hear outside, "We don't have fucking time for this. Break the fucking door down!" And with that, crash! The two large doors that contain the weather and roiling storm burst open, and you see armor-clad figures, wet water just dripping down their forms as the thunder and rain clashes in. Immediately, some candles near the door just blown out with the force of the gale winds, and in tromp about 7, 8, 9, 10 soldiers as they all kind of walk in. You see that many of the patrons are shocked. There's some screams, some cries, and you hear like some of them grab them and go, "Shut up!" And then you see they get punched in the face and knocked to the ground. The leader of the guild, this tall, thin, elven man, kind of almost glides up. He seems, as you've seen him walk around, he's been a cheerful sort, but very, very aloof and very, separated. And he doesn't look flapped by this at all, but you can tell that he's trying to come up and diffuse the situation. And with your perception, you hear him come, "Excuse me, sir, but what is the meaning of this? We're just attempting to enjoy our celebration of our completion of our guild hall." And the large soldier, you see that he's adorned in these kind of blue and gold like sashes and trim on his armor. His head is like he takes off his helmet, and you see his kind of like short hair is all burnt off on one side, and he says, "The Emperor says all non-humans have got to pay a tax. The way I see it, all you lot have a lot of money to give. So pay up, or your precious little guild hall is going to burn to the ground." And Indra, you watch as the elven man just tries to reason with this man, and it seems like it's, David versus Goliath, only David's getting squished. It's not happening.
Mhm.
Indra, what do you do?
What does this group of individuals look like? Are they
Uh,
all human?
They appear, from what you can tell as they're walking around, because I'm, again, with a 28 perception at level 1, you have a pretty good idea. They appear to be all various forms of human. Some darker, larger, and they appear to be carrying either, they're all pretty heavily armored at this point.
All right, and is this town itself that I've been in pretty chill, or are we in like a hotbed of this is kind of the norm?
So from your experience, you're in just like kind of a little, it's a newish town called Farragate. It was built alongside a river. There's not usually, it's kind of has avoided the gaze of a lot of heavy fighting and war and stuff like that. Partly why the guild hall was started here was because it was probably within the human kingdoms, probably the most racially uncharged so far, which is why the dwarves and elves and humans have all just been kind of able to work together and be kind of happy here. So this is definitely out of the ordinary. These guys must have traveled quite a ways to come here and start making a ruckus.
I will look down to the companion that I was just chatting with and say, just, I'm not sure how an elf would fare, but how do you dwarves think you could handle, or how do you think you dwarves would fare currently?
So you see the dwarf man before he's kind of fingering his ale mug. You can see he's a little bit red in the face. And he looks over to his human companion off to the right of you, who's a bit of a slighter man. Doesn't look like he's seen much combat, but he seems steamed up as well. And he says, "I think me and Corrigan here, we'd be ready for a tussle."
All right. If we can, I would like to try and get the drop on them.
All right. Why don't you give me a deception roll?
Deception?
Because you're trying to unless you're trying to climb up something, you said are you just gonna kind of wait for them to come by and spring on them? Is that the intention that you're going for?
Yeah, like whichever, like when they are not expecting it, just boom. Also, we have no deception skill.
There's oh, sorry, bluff. Excuse me. I've been listening to too many. I've been listening to too many podcasts. It is bluff. Just give me a bluff roll. To try and you're sitting still, either bluff or performance, whichever you prefer.
Oh, what is performance? Hold up, this might be a lot better.
Performance is also charisma based.
Listen.
Ouch.
That's at least 16 though.
16. Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
I'm very glad because I expected that to go far worse.
So you stay there for just a moment and you just like and you calm them down and you can tell that they're waiting for you to spring. You kind of like you get yourself ready, kind of brace yourself, but you keep it calm. You keep it casual. You know that you have to wait for your moment to strike. You kind of keep an eye on these soldiers as they're pushing through, taking money by force, even just grabbing full money bags. It looks like they're not following any sort of like, strict orders. They're just grabbing money. And they get to you. And the man kind of looks down at you. And he says, "Taxes." And as he approaches, kind of reaching out, he looks like he's going to put his hand on the table. You grab him by the arm and you full on flip him onto the table. Crash! Just in it with his weight and his armor and your strength, something that surprised your two companions. You just snap the even strong oak table in half as you seem to knock the wind out of this guy. Your two companions immediately jump on him and just start wailing on him with whatever metal heavy implement goes on. The entire guild hall just erupts in just fighting and fist fighting. All these nerdy types that you thought were all you thought they were all just kind of pansies for the most training. They show some serious ferocity just trying to lay into these soldiers, but you can tell just from an instant that it's not going to end well. What do you do, Indra?
I am going to try and beat the hell out of as many of these people as I can. Not the party goers, but I'm not going to
beat the party.
Start a fight. These bitches started a food fight. Kill them. I am going to try and continue on and on. I'm going to adopt a combat form and start swinging.
All right. Does that mean you turn into your natural form?
Natural form and jabbing form.
All right. So you change into your Hinjioka Usagi form, your natural bunny form, and you go to town. I want you to give me 3 rolls, and you can add your combat bonus to them.
Like make 3 attacks.
Yeah, make just 3 attacks. This is you're not doing it. You're not in formal combat. Here we go. Sorry for the gap again. We just lost our audio for like the 4th time. I don't know, 3rd time. So, really, you said you had for your combat rolls. You said you had a 18, a 21, and a 12.
It was like 16.
16. All right, fine. Good enough. Really, you are a veritable bunny blender. You are grabbing these guys, throwing them to the ground, letting your fellow guild mates, not necessarily your guild, but bar goers, pretty much, just go in and land into town. You're landing punches. You're grabbing like the collars of these, these heavy armors, and you're like twisting them up. A couple of times, like once or twice, you manage to get, manage to get between 2 of them and get them to swing at each other.
Mhm.
Everything seems to be going fine. You actually managed to knock out like 2 or 3 of them, and the rest of them seem to be kind of on the defense, swinging and slashing. You can see there's bodies starting to pile up on the ground as these, unarmored, defenseless tavern goers are just getting mauled and wrecked. Breathing hard, just in this massive fight, even with your training and skill. You look around trying to find your next opponent as there's a small gap in the there's a small gap in the fighting. You see the flash of like the back of one enemy. Just a soldier. You just see it for just a moment, but that's enough for your trained mind to latch in and run at it. You run forward to try and get at it, and then you feel something cold and sharp hit your back, and your body just skid to a stop, falling to your knees. You start to get up for a moment, not realizing what happened, and you try to force yourself to get up, and your muscles just stop responding, and you're trying your best, using every ounce of your strength, of your just ability to control your body to try and lift yourself up, and all you can do is stay on your hands and knees. You hear through all the din of the fighting and the roar of the crowd, you hear heavy clunking footfalls from behind you. And he says, and you hear the voice of the large man from before, kind of rising up from above you. It says, I hate you fucking furry types. And then the second time, this time, your body realizes what has happened to it as his large sword drives into your back and fire erupts from your back. As it just encases your entire body, you cry out in pain, screaming, just unable to fathom anything this painful, this hard, even through all your training. And you find yourself weakening. You fall to your face hits the ground first, then the rest of your body as you splay out on the ground, losing all sense of consciousness.
All right, time to roll my new.
Yeah, you guys can work, by the way, you guys can all be working on your new characters while I do the last one. Let me make sure I say his name correctly. It's Raikanu, or as he's better known by his stage name, Renard Zorro. Renard. Which do you prefer to go by? Do you want to go by Raikanu or do you want to go by Renard?
For now, stick with Renard.
All right, Renard.
Because I assume I'm starting in human form right now.
You are starting in human form.
Then I would be going by Renard.
All right, Renard. You blink your eyes open blearily. You have a mild hangover. It takes you a minute to kind of piece together where you're at. I mean, you're not unfamiliar to waking up in strange and confusing places, but you're not used to waking up in this much comfort. As you just kind of sit there, you go, oh yeah. As you remember that you're in one of the taverns. It was something like the Busty Broad, some raunchy place in the city, and you knew that it was perfect for you and your performance with your lute and your singing ability. You played with, you starting to remember, it's all kind of snapping and coming back to you. You remember you played with this, you played like a duet with this other lute player. He called himself Mr. Bones for some reason. But you definitely were feeling it. It was good. You got some easy money last night. As you're sitting there just kind of thinking, you feel a shifting in the nice comfy bed beside you. You kind of roll your head over and you see kind of this mess of light blonde hair. And then that comes back to you as well. There was this lovely, and as you would probably think, lovely young lady that was in the crowd as you were playing, and you definitely got the signal as you were going into one of your finest solos that, oh yeah, that's happening tonight. And as you finish your final set, you see she gave you a wink and walked to the upstairs room, and you remember the seemingly endless stairway up to go there, and you just knew that tonight was your night. And that it was. And here you are, laying in bed, enjoying your peaceful rest with a nice big smile on your face. You see this beautiful young woman rolls over, wraps her hand around your still unclothed chest, and she looks up at you and goes, you're way better than my husband.
Oh shit. Fuck. Okay. Well,
Renard, what do you do?
Okay. Let me think about this for just a moment. I think what I want to do is I want to just casually accept the compliment, and then get up and get dressed. Say I'm going to go bring up some breakfast.
As you're casually accepting the compliment, I want you to give me a perception check.
All right. I've got decent perception. I don't have decent rolls, but I've got decent perception. I got an 8.
All right. Yeah, you say. Okay. So what do you say to accept the compliment?
I say, thank you very much. I've been told that many times. I'm sorry if I'm a little out of character today. I have barely slept all week, like I said
That's okay.
earlier.
That's okay. We'll make do. She kind of smiles, and you see her smile drops and her eyes widen, and she looks to the door. And she just kind of looks at you. She goes, "He's here. Go, get."
Oh shit. Okay.
You do not have any of your stuff on. Nothing.
Okay.
And
do I have time to grab my loot?
You do. You have time to grab your loot.
That's what matters the most. Okay.
You are on the second floor. There is a just behind you is the bed. To the left of you is a it looks like a solid door, but from experience, the lock's not super great. To the right of you is a big pane glass window. In front of you is looks like some sort of wardrobe for travelers and stuff like that. What do you do?
All right. Are there curtains on the window?
There are no curtains on the window. Like there's
Shit.
well, there are curtains, but they've been like drawn, so like you can actually have some privacy.
Okay. No, like the question was just, are there curtains?
Yes, there are.
Could I smash through the window, and while putting on a curtain, could I do that? That would not be out of character for Renard. That is not. He's probably done this before.
Let me see. Let me see what rolls that's gonna be.
It's probably gonna be a strength check or something.
I would
Oh
do
my
a
gosh.
strength check followed by a sleight of hand check, because I assume you're trying to put on the curtain, or are you just trying to keep yourself protected? Okay, so strength check followed by a sleight of hand check.
Okay, and I assume for strength that's gonna be. There's no
D20 plus
athletics
your
in this.
modifier.
Okay, so it's not anything. It's okay.
Come on, Mr. Noodle Arms.
That's a 12.
All right.
Let's and the sleight of hand. Not rolling great today so far. Sleight of hand is a 19.
All right.
Wait,
Cool.
sorry. That's a 20.
All
not
right.
a natural 20, but
Awesome. So, Renard, you rush forward. You grab the curtain off, and you quickly tie it around yourself. Quick toga, just sash around, covered in ornaments.
perfect.
Got it. Cool. And you shoulder check the window, and boom, bounce off, and you just feel, ow! Ow! As your shoulder just flares up in pain. Suddenly there's a slamming at the door. Alyssa, are you in there? Who the fuck is in there with you? What do you do?
So I don't have any of my equipment either, I assume. Like
No,
it would all be
it's scattered around on the ground. You see your clothes, you see your equipment, you see your bag. It just the night of passion. It was thrown everywhere. And now you're realizing it's really bad for a quick getaway if you do that. Shit.
Yep, no kidding. Okay, let me see if I have anything to break a window with. Where's my short sword?
It looks like you kept that kind of close to the side of the bed. It looks like it's out of its sheath, but it's sitting there. Right
It's
there.
currently wrapped in the curtains.
Okay. Geez. I prefer the rapier, but that's not really good for smashing windows, is it?
Well, it's not the size of the tool; it's how you use it.
Yeah, that's true. Is there a lock on the window? Can it open?
Yeah, there's a latch on the window.
Okay. Darn it. I was going for style, but I'm gonna unlatch the window and
You
jump
could have
out.
had style if you would have been past your strength check.
Yeah, I've only got a +1 to strength and I didn't roll well, so
So you you unlatch the window and you kick it open and you look back and you're Alyssa. Now you know her name. You're like, hey, that's her name. You see she looks completely fearful at you, and in your casual style, you wink and you blow her a kiss. And
perfect.
and about that moment, the man you're starting to gather from a couple of context clues is probably her husband. Door just bursts open. Shards of wood fly everywhere, and you see this hulking half-orc of the man. You see he's dragging what looks like a meat cleaver in his hand, and he locks eyes with you as you finish your kiss. And you're like, time to go. And you just you book it out the window. You're now on the
Perfect.
balcony on the second floor of this tavern. Now, kind of around you is like this street, and it just rained last night, so it's all real muddy and slick. What do you do? You're kind of in the middle of a city, this port city known as Yarneg. You've been performing that night, and you're kind of in the middle of the street. There's people kind of waking up for their they've already been awake for a while. Looks like it's about mid-afternoon at this point. You slept in. Yeah, there seems to be there's like a building off to your left and right that you think you could climb up to, and there's also you're just a single story down, maybe about a 5, maybe 10-foot drop.
Okay, so am I what am I standing on? Am I like in the street or
You're standing on like this kind of like like a overhang for like to keep water off of people while they're kind of walking under stores and shops and stuff like that.
okay,
You're
yeah.
standing on kind of like a straw and thatch version of that.
Got it. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go over the roofs. Those
All right. Give me-
things.
Give me an acrobatics check.
All right, I can do that. And I don't get -1 to this because I'm not wearing armor.
No, you
That
are
was
not wearing
still-
armor. That is for sure.
That was still really shitty. That's a 12.
A 12. Henry, you run up to try and climb this wall. It's too slippery. Hands are trying to scrabble. Grab for some sort of purchase. They just keep slipping off. And as you keep trying, you hear crashing of glass as this large man pushes his way out onto the balcony with you and says, "I'm gonna eat you for lunch." And you see he pulls behind him and starts pulling out a long spear-looking javelin as he pulls it out. "I'm gonna pin you to the fucking wall." What do you do?
All right. Can I cast Daze? Do I have the time to do that?
You have the time to cast Daze. What is it?
Perfect. I cast Daze. That is a DC 15. That's
DC 15. He rolled an 18.
God damn it. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Well, I'm gonna die. Nice knowing you guys.
Renard, you throw out your hand and you're like, shit, and you turn to try and drop off the roof, and you feel and you just hear him go, and you feel something pierce your back, your side, as he rolled like a 16.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's kind of a strange sensation of being pierced like on your lower, like, kind of like through your chest, and it like it kind of comes out the front, and you stop, and you're like, I got to the ground. And you look down, and you realize your feet are dangling, and you kind of reach up, and for a moment you go, oh, you are now stuck to the wall. As you feel this you kind of feel like in front of your chest, you feel like this strange wooden shaft sprouting from it, and you can't even turn your back to look behind you, but you hear like this low chuckle behind you. And it just starts to fade away as you kind of struggle once, twice, 3 times, and your arms go limp. And you lose all sense of being, Renard.
All right. Well, let me go roll my new character. I'll be right
That was
back.
the game. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for playing.
Dang, we finished that in record time.
I know, it's pretty good. I'm pretty
Is
good. At
there is there some sort of speed run D&D thing that
No,
we
this is
can
it.
we can submit this to? We did record it.
So, all of you, you're not sure how much time has passed. It could have been a minute. Might have been just a split second. It could have been a whole year. Time is weird. You feel like it's almost been an eternity by this point. You feel the pain. You feel the pain of your wounds. Risotto, you feel it in the back of your head, kind of like by your neck. Indra, you feel this sharp, searing pain in your back. Kyra, you feel this splaying spider web of just, constriction in your throat. And Renard, you feel the stabbing hole left by your only love. And it seems to kind of ebb and flow, and you guys, for just a moment, you accept it. It's okay. You realize you're probably dead, and this is what happens. Is this it? Is there nothing? Do I have nothing left? All of you suddenly realize you're not floating anymore. You're not in nothingness. Either an eternity or a split second later, you feel softness around your bodies and your back. You are all laying on your backs, you realize, prone. As maybe one or two of you take like a test feel of the ground around you, you feel it's very powdery, kind of like a talc feeling almost, but it doesn't like stick or get everywhere like it does. Just kind of slowly sifts out, really kind of ethereally. You open your eyes to a darkened sky with an impossible amount of stars. You are all used to traveling and being outdoors in the darkness and seeing stars, but this is a whole nother level of just beauty and twinkling. You don't see the moon in the sky. All you see is stars. You all sit up, just kind of slowly as you're coming to, and around you, you see you see 3 other figures, but for the purpose of this, all 4 of you see these 4 figures. You see this catfolk Perduan, clad in some sort of feathery, silvery robes that just kind of seem to lift and wisp in some sort of unseen wind. Her attire just kind of glows and like seems to shine with this strange light. You glance down, and the rest of you all see that this is very similar to your own attire. Indra, your robes and your hood, they're also clad in this kind of silver light, and the robes, they just feel light and comfortable. Your Risotto, your robes as well, also probably the most comfortable they've ever been for you, and for once, you kind of feel comfortable in your own clothes. And then last but not least, Renard in your performer outfit with your armor.
Nice.
It looks pretty, you're pretty satisfied with how it looks. You kind of look down, you just think to yourself, nice. And the rest of you see this apparent human, this strange strange Perduan, this Usagi, and you do see a fox creature which you think may be a kitsune. You're not sure. So you all look up and you all see each other. The scenery around you is white dunes. This kind of this white grayish material that just kind of seems to stretch on endlessly forever. And you all are just kind of sitting in kind of this circular depression in it. What do you all do? Because you can all see each other.
Okay. How far am I away from? God, I'm terrible with names. Izzy, what's your character's name again? I should write this down.
It's Kyra.
Okay, Kyra. Let me write this down real quick so I don't forget these later. I want to sit up and I want to look over at Kyra. How far away is Kyra?
She's about 5-10 feet, pretty close.
Okay. I want to sit up, kind of give Kyra a smile and say, "Well, this won't be the first time this morning I've woken up next to a beautiful lady." And just kind of give her a wink.
Well, Risotto sits up like one of those, like he woke up from nightmare, just sitting straight up screaming. He immediately scrambles away from the furthest point from any of you.
Wow, way to ruin the moment.
Ah! What the fuck, man? Hello.
Language.
I'm going to. Do I still have a sharp pain in my back? Or how
to address
damaged
this,
am I?
so you feel the wound, like you feel like it happened, and like it hurts, but it kind of feels like an old scar at this point.
All right.
Touch the back of my head.
I'm going to kind of roll to the side and like stagger to my feet with both my fists raised and just be like, all right, which one of you bastards was the one that hit me? As I'm still kind of like, you can see I'm a little bit blinking, trying to get kind of my bearings, and looking kind of confusion is setting in my face. It's none of you are armored buttholes. You are instead people that do not look like the people that beat the crap out of me.
Kyra is going to massage her like throat to like, because I assume she wasn't able to talk before.
You were not, but you feel air passing through unabatedly, though. You feel kind of like you got a sore throat.
You better watch yourself that your eyes don't burn, fox boy.
So I'll call for a short 5-minute break here because the dog has to use the restroom. I'll also pause the recording for you, Sarah, so you don't have to just sit here waiting for nothing. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. And we're back. That was a little longer than the 5-minute break, but luckily it's easier to record that way. So
I wouldn't know.
yeah, they wouldn't know. Who cares? So you guys all see each other. Indra, you're kind of ready to beat the crap out of these people. Risotto, you're being antisocial. Renard, you're making eyes at Kyra, and Kyra, you're trying to burn him with said eyes.
No, I sassed him. There's a difference.
I mean, I don't see a difference.
Wow.
I will kind of, as I look around and I see that these are clearly not the people, I'll kind of lower my fists and be like, kind of looking to the right and looking to the left. So, none of you happen to know where we are, do you? And I kind of just look down over the silvery sheen over my garb.
Can anyone else do a skill check to see where we are?
Yeah. I can
If
roll
you have-
something.
You can only roll if you have knowledge religion as a trained skill.
Well,
I
baby.
do.
Guess what?
All right.
Bards can
Three
make
of the
all
fucking people have
untrained.
it.
It's a 26 knowledge religion.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, I actually have it too.
I rolled
Oh my
a
God.
20.
You all fucking have it. Jeez, I got the
I
nerd.
don't-
I got
okay.
the nerd group.
Okay, I don't have it, but bards can make untrained
Oh,
knowledge checks.
I know that's the
so
bard
there.
thing. This is like I expect everyone to have it.
All I've got is
19.
knowledge in history, I think,
Yeah.
or religion and history.
I've got knowledge in everything.
You guys got to read out. Just you read it out. Remember.
I had a 20, not a natural 20, unfortunately, but a 20.
Yeah, I got a 19.
So I
Alright.
might take back my statement. It's like, wait a minute, I know where we are. I was just testing you. Ha!
Oh my god.
So what'd you get?
Sense
Kyra?
motive.
So Kyra, what did you get?
I didn't roll because I assumed that like everyone else got it.
You
so
can go ahead and roll. If you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
there's no point. I don't think I'm gonna hit 26.
You probably could, but it's up to you. So, all right, just Indra then would know this.
Wow.
Indra, it's real hard for you to remember. You have to take a second to kind of glance around because you asked where you were at, and then you decided, all right, let's stop and take a look around, and you just kind of look at the stars and stuff like that, and you think you might be in the domain of the moon god. You're not 100% sure. You can't really remember any details about it because obviously nobody's really been there and returned. But some of the stories you've led to talking about white sands and a starry sky lead you to think it might be that. You
Is
couldn't
there
say
a
for sure.
name for that?
The actual plane? No, it seems more like a demi-plane, but the moon god's name is where is the name of the moon god? I did not save it.
Saloon.
Yeah,
Butts McGee.
I'll call him Saloon for now. I might change that if
Right.
I can find my name before. So I'll call him
Alright.
Saloon.
I will kind of, after I ask that question, I'll kind of be looking around and be like, this looks vaguely similar to a text I read in the Ebon Fur archives. Saloon's realm. Why would we be here? Surely not. And I'm just going to look around as like I don't roll for shrug.
Kyra,
So-
you would know Saloon is Mesopola. What are you saying? Renard. I'm trying to remember.
So we're on sand, right?
Yeah, it
Like-
feels like a talc powder, like not really like so much sand as it is a super fine thing. Also, this is a lot
Okay.
more intense as far as music goes than I was expecting.
It's all good. Can I roll to make a sandcastle?
Go ahead and roll dexterity.
Hell yeah. Okay, that is I rolled 14 plus 3, 17.
Good job. You make a little kind of mound of sand, and that's about all you get.
It's a
really
volcano.
fine.
It's a
Yeah,
volcano.
you put your thumb in the top, and you're like, guys, look, volcano.
Kyra is completely like not even aware of what he's doing and like kind of focused on Indra, and like she blinks in recognition and says, if we are in Mesopola's lands, it must mean that we are all dead. And he has summoned us to his court.
Wait, we're dead? Okay,
As
good.
you kind of
Not less fire than I
look.
thought.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Not less fire than I thought, but yeah, sure.
As you also as you guys kind of look, the only person you would immediately see for this is as you see Kyra speak, you see that around her throat, kind of this offset by the fact that she's got silvery robes on her. There's like this pulsing red like light coming from her throat and like this spider web pattern. It doesn't look healthy. It looks like something is trying to burn her throat. You'd feel no different, Kyra, but you guys notice this around her throat.
I'm going to stand up and not kick over my volcano because that's staying here for the next group. But I'm gonna point to at Kyra and say, "Your throat is glowing red. It does not look good. Are you okay?"
I feel okay. I reach for I paw my throat and check to see if I notice anything different.
You feel it, and it feels kind of hot. It feels like it stings, like like if you touch like a really raw part of your skin, if you've rubbed it raw or gotten like a scrape on your knee, and it stings as you kind of touch it, and it feels hot. It definitely feels like there's no fur there; it's just skin.
So it's like a scar.
It's like it's kind of like a scar. Like the texture feels like a scar, but it also feels like, just from your other perspective, from your actual body responding to you as far as pain, it feels like it hurts when you touch it.
Is there a way to know exactly?
It's like, what do you so it feels like there's a scar across your throat, and the scar feels tender, is what I'm trying to describe for you.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I can't do anything about it now.
Would a heal check give me any knowledge of it?
You could attempt. I would say go ahead and try.
I will kind of hold up my hands openly and just ask if, are you okay if I look at it?
Yeah, that's fine.
As you kind of approach her, you also see kind of on her shoulder, it appears some sort of like scorched and charred mark on her shoulder. It's also glowing in like this. Different from the different light. It's also glowing in this like yellowy light, like it's just been lit up too, like under one of the her sleeves. It looks like can't really tell the pattern because her sleeves kind of covering it at the moment, but you can tell there's something there too.
Mm-hmm. I will, as I roll a awkward, what is my heal? As I roll a 14 on a heal check, I'm going to just kind of ask, as you do as you're inspecting and assessing, just like, you said that we are all dead. Do you know how you passed?
Can my character remember that?
Yeah, you all have pretty vivid memories of how you died. You remember Indra. You remember being stabbed in the back. Renard, you remember being pinned to a wall. And Risotto, you remember getting something hitting you in the back of the head. And Kyra, you remember watching as you choked in front of your most trusted acolytes.
Yes, I drank some of the wine that they gave me, but I don't know.
So, Indra, as you were checking her over with your roll, as far as you can kind of tell, under it, it feels it feels hot to the touch to your, paws. But as far as you can tell, it looks just like regular scar tissue. Just kind of, it's glowing. It's glowing scar tissue. Kyra, you see kind of as he leans over and he's like checking you over, like you see as he leans over and he's checking you over, you see that there's this large, long, angry-looking red scar that is same as you assume after you look at it for a second. That's very similar to what you have, and it's going all the way down his back.
Thank you for making that large and angry and not like a fucking tramp stamp.
Well, I mean, that was the point. You got stabbed and cut in the back, not in the butt. We got a rabbit tail.
Damn! Look at that booty. No, I'm just kidding. Just like a fucking tramp stamp. Just yeah, enjoy that. Okay. He's inspecting me right now, right?
Yeah, while you're having this conversation, he's kind of looking you over.
I didn't say any of that for real.
Well, while he's talking about it. Yeah, well, of course.
Okay, I just
I assume that was out of character, unless you'd like it to be in character, in which case
No.
Kyra gets a little more interesting.
Oh my gosh. I'll be like, your name was Indra, correct?
Yes, Indra
You're-
Fleetpaw.
You also have something strange on your back, across your spine.
Going to take a moment to pause and just kind of point along where I think I remember the slash being and say, does it follow this path?
And it does as he kind of runs his finger, and you feel it really. Sorry, excuse me, Indra. You feel it as oh yeah, it stings.
I will kind of nod and say that's where the bastard cut me down.
It appears that we have some kind of markings each where we've gotten hit at, but I don't know about those two.
I touch the back of my head.
You feel you feel kind of that burning pain, very similar to how I've described it before. It kind of splays out from the back of your head. It kind of stops kind of near the sides of your neck.
I back my head. Yeah, I think it's there. Yeah.
Risotto, what are you doing?
I'm
Oh, no,
just sitting over here.
Are you talking to me?
Sorry, I mixed
Um,
up the names. Renard, Risotto. I'm gonna have to get used to that. I might just call you Zorro.
Yeah, either way, means the same
Zorro.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, like, I am in my kitsune form. You can call me Raikanu. That's not much more helpful because it still starts with an R.
Yeah.
But
Okay. I'm probably not gonna swap names based on what form you're in. I'll probably do it situationally. It's more
Yeah,
work
no,
on my
that's
part.
fine.
Otherwise,
It's
I've never-
basically whatever you want to be called for the entire party.
Yeah.
Renard is simple enough, or Zorro, whatever.
Mr. Zorro.
I sounds good. I'm kind of I was stabbed in the back through the back, right?
Yeah,
Or-
you were impaled, so you have a
Yeah.
wound on your. So if you're checking yourself out, you feel kind of on your like upper back that went through a couple of ribs, and on your front you feel what you would assume is an entrance and exit scar. One of them right, like pretty much you assume right over your heart.
Okay. Ow. I'm just gonna kind of feel myself over and be like, oh yeah, I must have gotten impaled by a falling beam when I was saving orphans from a burning church.
I just stare at
I'm gonna roll bluff.
All right, go ahead and roll a bluff to try and lie.
24. Beat that.
Whoever wants to even try to combat this, you can roll a sense motive to really get an idea if he's bluffing, because he's pretty convincing. He's like, I was saving orphans.
I'll do it.
I failed.
Yay.
Uh-oh.
Revenge. That's revenge.
I technically could beat that if I rolled amazing, but I have no reason to doubt you yet.
What do you
Awesome.
think? What do you think, Kyra, who is the one who was catcalled literally immediately as he woke up?
So, what is the thing? What am I
It is
rolling?
You are rolling a d20 and adding your sense motive.
Okay. Plus, okay. I got a 26.
What? How?
You got some points into sense motive.
I'm
God
smart
That's wisdom, not intelligence.
So,
in both ways.
she's got street smarts. All right. So as he's like, I was saving orphans. You see like a little twitch, like just a little break in the facade, a little twitch of a smile, like, oh yeah, I got this.
So I'm gonna be like, you do realize you're dead, right? That there is, after this is the final judgment for you. So you might want to practice a little bit of honesty. And I'm going to use intimidate.
Fucking savage.
What's the roll against intimidate?
I would say diplomacy, or not diplomacy. It would be probably I'd say it'd be a sense motive to see if she's like intentionally fucking with you.
I wish it was diplomacy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're a bard. You're not very wise, are you?
Yeah, no, I don't have a bonus to wisdom. It's just charisma, dexterity, and strength for me.
Yep.
I originally did have some in either wisdom or intelligence. I don't remember now, but I had to switch it over to strength.
Yep. So what did you roll?
I only got a 12.
27.
Holy
right,
shit!
Okay. Even if I'd rolled diplomacy, I would have had to get a nat 20 to
I
beat
know.
that. So
So you you look over at her and just for a moment you realize, oh yeah, she's not fucking around. Like it's not like a
Jeez.
mind control thing to make you afraid, but you definitely feel like, your impression of her is like, yeah, she's not messing. She doesn't want you. She's not messing around.
all right.
No, like the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't like intimidate the truth out of a player character, but you do. But he does get the impression that like you mean business. That he can't. He probably shouldn't fuck around with you.
It's like I'll just give a kind of a smile and say, point taken. Thank you for your advice. I will keep that in mind.
Please don't kill me.
So, as you guys are kind of having these conversations, introducing yourselves, you see kind of on the horizon this kind of faint blue glow like rise into the air, and like it first starts out kind of like like a glow of an approaching city, but then you realize it keeps going straight up and doesn't expand anymore until it's like a column that just kind of rises into the air of like this ethereal blue glow over the horizon.
I leap into cover, if there is any.
You need what?
I leap to cover, if there is any.
There's my little sand volcano.
Good enough.
How far away does it look?
You think it could be maybe like mile or two away, just because it's kind of over a large dune, so it's kind of hard to see the horizon really, but you can see that it's coming over the dune.
Gotcha.
It's kind of hard to gauge because just a light in the sky, but you're taking your best guess.
I'm going to kind of look around our extremely bleak surroundings and just kind of nod towards the light and say, I've wandered enough while I'm living. Might as well go try and find something interesting when I'm dead. If any of you care to follow, try and keep up.
I guess.
I'm just imagining that the Sonic the Hedgehog try and keep up thing right now.
So I start running with 40 base movement speed. Who can keep up? No, I'm kidding. Kidding.
If you're on the moon, is it like lower gravity here?
Oh gosh.
As you guys start moving like properly, you notice that when you take steps, you like float, and you
Cool.
like float in the air.
I want to bounce around.
You push off the ground, and being unfamiliar, you just kind of fly through the air, and you you realize you have absolutely zero control over your direction as you fly through the air.
Nice. Listen too hard and break gravity pull and just float away.
Kyra, what do you do?
I am going with Indra and kind of watching his antics as he
Okay.
kind of like starts floating away from where we're
Well, Renard, as you kind of quickly reorient yourself in the, you don't hit the ground very hard. It's like doing small hops. You manage to kind of see which is what the rest of you see as you kind of are a little more less playfully walking. You notice that there is this large terraced building that this light seems to be emanating from. It's got a large platform up at the top, which you can't really make out the details. But as you approach, it doesn't take you so very long. I mean, just the nature of where you're at and the intensity of what's going on doesn't, time isn't really feeling like you're not like, oh, I'm so bored here. You're like, okay, yeah, all right. Kind of nervous, not knowing what's going to happen next. You're at the base. After a while, you come to the base of this temple, and as you approach it, like, you put your hands on it maybe to start. Do you guys walk up it, or do you want to just inspect it, or what would you like to do?
I'm down to inspect it.
Sure, why not? I'll inspect it.
What is the area like?
So as you look around, the scenery is about the same. Kind of around you, just lots of dunes. Feels kind of endless. You're out of the like kind of hole you guys are in, so you can see that it stretches out. The horizon feels kind of closer, but you can still kind of see it. It's really kind of almost blindingly bright now that you can see most of the ground. In front of you is this large kind of I'm going to describe it as kind of like an Aztec-looking temple. And as you guys bring up your hands and paws to kind of feel the surface, it feels like this cool, smooth metal. You're not, metal feels like metal, but it just feels like it's this kind of silvery, like impossibly smooth and like soft metal almost.
And like, there's a way up it.
Yeah, right. You were standing in front of what looked like really steep stairs, very stereotypical of like those kind of Aztec type temples, like a ziggurat or something.
Does it look like there is a way in around the base, or does the top or middle part like have any open atrium styled areas?
So as you kind of glance around, you move to the left and to the right of it. This whole base is maybe, I'll give it like 100 yards, like that's about 300 meters, I think, in European terms. You kind of look to the left and to the right. The temple seems symmetrical on all sides, actually. Stairs are on a single face in the middle that are about 20 feet wide. At the top of the temple, or this building, you see that there's kind of like this overhanging, like gazebo type structure up at the top, but it seems open to the air. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of entrance to the building other than going up the stairs.
Sounds like our path is up, as I will kind of gesture to the stairs. Do I have any of my equipment on me?
Checking to try and grab some of your equipment, you reach over to like feel for your bag, and you don't immediately feel anything. As soon as you think of the object that you would like, though, you feel it kind of appear in your hand in this kind of like weird, kind of like half there, half not form in your hand, like if you summon one of your weapons or like a rope or something. It kind of appears in your hand.
I think
Do I
plus
see this
3 key
happening?
intensifying sword no, never mind.
I think of a grandfather clock. Can I have a grandfather clock?
Nothing happens.
Damn it.
And when you think of your plus 3 key sword intensifying sword, nothing happens. With a little bit of experimentation, you think it was things you just died with. It's what you have in the afterlife.
Okay.
Can I summon a window curtain?
No.
God, come on!
All right, fine. You summon a window.
Hold up. Because
You're
if
right.
he can't, then that means he was stripped naked after he died.
True. You're right. Okay.
Oh,
So your clothes are now replaced, Renard, by a window curtain. It's a very
Awesome.
nice window curtain, very silvery and shiny, but you feel even freer than before.
Okay. I got an idea, guys. I'm gonna summon my loot, and I'm gonna try to pass off as an angel. Oh yeah, I already got pre-approved to get into heaven.
Can I visualize my my sun's spear?
As you close your eyes and visualize it, this spear appears in your hands, Kyra. It looks a little different color-wise than the rest of these things because it is one of your closely kind of bonded religious items. It glows with a yellow light instead, as it kind of flickers in and out of existence.
Okay. Can I hold on to it? Like, can I touch it?
Yeah, you can touch it. It feels solid in your hand. It just looks like it's not solid.
I kind of inspect it, like, since it's a little different looking than I'm used to, and like kind of address everyone like, I'm not as familiar with the moon god, but I have some experience with the sun, and I do know how to unlock some of these temples for a quicker passway. So let me just find here if I can see if there's another entrance instead of climbing those stairs.
Give me a perception check, Kyra.
Real quick, would it be a basic knowledge, or would that be a knowledge religion to know if the sun and moon gods hate each other or are pretty chill with each other?
That'd be a religion check.
That's a
And
nat 20.
Yeah, it's a pretty,
19.
pretty easy. Okay, so Kyra,
I'm so mad.
okay, so Kyra, you look around to try and find like a hole and stuff like that. And in typical places, you're used to seeing these sorts of temples and stuff like that, but it's just not really seeing much. Doesn't look like anything was really hidden, or as far as you can tell, there's nothing that your sun spirit you think would unlock. Indra, with your nat 20, you know that the sun and moon god are rival brothers. They at times seem like they hate each other. At times they're pretty chill with each other. It's kind of iffy on occasion what it's gonna be like. You do know that if I can find it sitting here, you know that the some of the names of the sun god, people call him Palor, people call him Malakbel. The moon god, similar thing, Saloon, or where is it at? Man, my notes are all over the place. Saloon or Mesopola, Mesopola, excuse me. And it just kind of depends on what culture you're in and how they get described. So for the most part, they will occasionally like each other. You're never really sure. It depends on what story you're reading at the time.
Okay. I won't feel alarmed like we're about to walk in. He's gonna be like, "Begone, son, bitch!"
Yeah, how would that be? How would that feel? You die and you go to your rival's place.
Rip.
Well, I know that Mesopola does not really believe in the lazy way.
Then the stairs we go.
It was an attempt.
Yep. And as you're kind of climbing the stairs, you know from experience, Kyra, that these stairs suck. But the lighter, the light feeling in your steps make it pretty easy. Risotto, what are you doing during all this?
I'm just debating if it's better to, be the one furthest back. But if I'm furthest back, it would be easiest to be attacked in the back, so I'm in the middle.
Risotto feeling what every socially anxious person feels as you guys all like gently step up to the top of the tower or the building or the temple, whatever you like to call it, the structure.
I'm just looking at all directions for any possible threat.
As you go up, you can certainly see very far in all directions, and you see a lot of sand. A lot of sand. There's lots of circular depressions in it, similar to where you guys think you walked from, but there's just a whole lot of nothing here. Just this one building and a lot of sand.
He was looking for fire, right, when he woke up.
Yes, I think he's making a joke about being in hell.
Oh.
What were you saying, Renard?
Can I summon in paper and a quill and some ink? Because I had all those. Not on me when I died, but they were part of my equipment.
Okay, you can summon those up. As you summon those, you realize your regular clothing is back. It seems that you can only summon like one thing or a couple of related objects out of your bag at one time. So
Okay,
for example,
that's
like
fine.
weapon, etc., etc. You guys continue to climb to the top, and at the top you see upon kind of near to the center, you see there's a large throne of the same silver metal. Upon it sits cross-legged with this almost kimono-looking outfit on him with gold trim down the shoulders, but the gold trim ends pretty quickly. The robes are silvery and have kind of dark gray sleeves to them. He has long pointed ears like an elf, but dark skin, sort of like a dark elf. And his eyes are closed at the moment as he bows his head down, and he has a emblem of the moon upon his forehead. On his back is a large, like circular, looks like metal plate almost attached to his clothing. As you approach, you see that he is very large, an imposing figure, maybe 15, 20 feet tall. And as you approach, his eyes open. They're just orbs of just pure silver as they glance down at each one of you. And he looks at you all, kind of in turn. You can almost feel his gaze, like just kind of passing through you. And he takes a moment, and
I
then
will kind of lower into like not a kneeling with like one knee, but kind of, you know how you sit on your knees. I will kind of lower to that. Just DM knowledge. The three deities of the Warrens are Moon and Ancestors, Sun and Growth, and then the third one that I follow is like Storms and Water. But the triumvirate is kind of worshipped holy. So even though I don't know this person, like this would reverence would be there.
Makes sense. All right, let me put a kind of a view for you guys. One moment.
As Indra like assumes a respectful position, like I cross my right fist over across like my chest and hold the spear in the other.
So I'll put this because put this here, kind of a basic. The stairs kind of trail off. I said they're 20 feet wide, so they go like this, like this, like this, and like this. In the center, I'm making part of the background. This is what you are kind of faced with, kind of nearer to the center. Is about approximately what he looks like. Move your tokens over here. This is about what you guys are faced with. There's a couple of, let me make sure I do this correctly and don't miss anything. There's that. There's that, because of those large columns, kind of the gazebo area above you kind of opens up in a large circle above that kind of just points at the stars. Dexter, please stop eating my pants. Seriously, dog. Okay, Indra, you said you were bowing. Kyra, what did you say?
I'm doing the right, my right fist across like my chest and the spear in the other, holding the spear. I'm not kneeling though.
Okay. He opened as you do so. He opens his mouth, and for the first time, you hear his voice just kind of soft yet permeating. It almost feels like it's not coming from him, but it's coming from all around you. Welcome, forgotten ones. Kyra of my brother. Indra of the Isles. Renard of the Tricksters. And Risotto of the Damned. You all, as I'm sure you found, are dead. Your existences are over. You continue your mortal lives no more. And here you stand, awaiting your judgment. But this is not the end of your stories. This is not where you finish. Because all of you are tied in a destiny that none of my powers, nor my brothers, nor any of the Pantheon can see. You've all been brought here today for one specific reason. In addition to being conveniently dying in about the same time, there has been stirrings of a darkness growing inside of Keltara itself. An evil death plaguing that normally we would allow our underlings, our followers, our paladins, our clerics, and he nods towards you, Kyra, our oracles, to attest to warn, to prepare for the coming storm. But this time, we cannot warn them. Because how can we warn against that which we cannot see? This darkness we sense, we feel it in our bones because we are the creators of everything. And yet we cannot see what one of our own creations threatens us with. And that is why the four of you are here with me in my domain. There is this evil that has been plaguing my brother and I for many years. And it threatens all of existence. It threatens the very deities ourselves. And I offer you a choice. You may end here, continue on to wherever you were destined. This is not your final destination. This is my domain. I have plucked you from the goddess's stream of life and brought you here to offer you a chance. Should you accept, you will be returned to the mortal realm, alive, existing, a second chance to reclaim that which we have lost. You all have unfinished business. You all have things, people, tasks, things you had forgotten about, things that may have forgotten about you. And if you do so, you'll do under the agreement that you will seek out what it is that we do not see, and you will eradicate it from the world of Keltara. And then you'll be free. You'll get to continue your second chance at life, resurrected fully, and live out your life, either redeeming yourself. He nods at you, Risotto, or simply continuing what you started. And he nods at you, Indra. If you so choose, you may decline. You are one of the primary factors of mortals is that they have free will. They may choose as they wish. And you will end. You will go to wherever you are destined. And that is how your life will end, how you remember it. A javelin through the heart, a sword in the back, a construction mishap to the head, your own acolytes poisoning you. The choice is yours. I let you decide. And he closes his eyes once more and bows his head.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like a good deal. Mm, yeah, let's do this. I want to live. I have stuff to do. Stuff I need to do. I think. I don't know what it is.
So this is it? This is all we get?
You are not satisfied, Sungling?
Kyra's ears flatten, but she doesn't say anything.
Having remained quiet for a brief period of time, if anyone actually looks, my fists are like clenched. And I will kind of speak up. How can we seek out this darkness? Because I would happily hunt it for a chance to get back at those who put me here.
I will provide you with what you need to know once your two compatriots have decided upon their path. But Aikanu, Kyra, what are your answers?
Kyra is going to just like close her eyes and just try to summon the ability to just look emotionless and just nod her head.
And you, trickster of the Kitsune, what is your path?
Raikkone's going to summon in his lute and just kind of thoughtfully play a couple chords while he's thinking, and then he'll just kind of look around at the other three and then nod his head.
Then it is decided. You four shall be my champions upon this planet, this world, and you will seek out and destroy this evil. Should you fail or should you deviate, know that our agreement will be null and void. Should you fail, you will continue and die as you have. But should you abandon your task, should you run and forget about all that we have spoken here today, you will be lost to the world. Thrown to the void, you will have no beginning, no end, no torment, no pleasure. You will cease to exist. However, I sense the resolve, I sense the strength in your group. And before I send you along your way, I'm afraid I must test that strength. You must all show me that you are worthy of bearing the moon god's symbol, the moon god's mark. Are you ready to prove to me your worth?
I stand.
Raikkonen kind of gives a salute and says, "Yes, sir."
Is it
Kyra,
like
what
a
were you
written test?
Kyra, what
Is it multiple choice?
I mean, I prefer
Hang on,
that.
let Kyra speak. She's kind of been trying a few seconds.
At him saying Mark, she kind of lights up, and then she just has like this really kind and like gentle smile and say, "Will this mark override your brother's branding of me?"
He smiles and he glances down at the mark on your shoulder. No, dear son, little one. This is not a visible mark. It is one that only those that know will see. You will still retain your branding from my brother and all that it entails.
But can you not talk to Malik Bell and perhaps gain some kind of understanding?
Oh, the ways of mortals. Perhaps that is your reward. I sense you do not want glory. You do not want power. Complete this task, and at the end, I will speak with my brother. And I will see that your mark, your shame, and see if it can be removed. I make no promises, for I am not my brother.
In that case, I accept.
Very well. Prepare yourselves, for this is one but of many challenges you will face. And should you fail, the entire world of Keltara rests upon your shoulders. And with that, his form kind of shimmers and vanishes from sight. And in front of your eyes, three forms seem to just kind of apparate into existence. There seems to be a helmet flanked by two silvery skinned creatures appear off to the left and to the right of it, weapons drawn, and the helmet turns towards you. And you all need to roll for initiative.
I was so ready to kick the moon god in the face. I was like, I'm gonna test your drop kick to the face.
All right, let me go find these guys up on here. Let me make sure I'm good to go.
16.
16, nice. So monsters. There we go. What is
12.
This? There's three of them. 16. So let's see. There is So you got 12. You got 16. Indra, what'd you get?
18.
I can't see it at the moment. 18. Thank you. So we got 18. Kyra.
8.
Kyra, speedy little cat. These two guys. Ooh, nat 20. Woohoo!
I have
Oh,
to
great.
bathe myself first.
She doesn't give a fuck. So these two guys go on 20 and 11. This last guy, they have shit for initiative. All of them have a +0 to initiative, so it's just a straight roll
That's
for them.
because they're level butts.
All right. First one up is the one on the right here. So she's wearing armor and pulls up her shield and charges. What is her movement speed? I have to look at all of her stuff. Speed is 30 feet. And she can make it over there. She charges towards you, Kyra. And she's going to make a single attack against you with her heavy mace. What is your AC?
16.
She doesn't hit as you step your way back, taking your spear, and you crack the mace out of the way. Indra, your turn.
Indra is going to step forward and then do a quick, just like rotation flurry, and just yell, "Come forth!" as you see 2 shuriken fly out. One flying. I'll make the first attack at whoever the shield lady that just attacked.
Okay, that's her on the right.
Oh damn! Does a 24 hit?
Yes, it does.
These don't deal a lot of damage though, because they're shuriken. But
Yeah.
you know,
Let's see.
hell yeah, it'll do max though. That's 4 damage.
Nice.
And then the other one is going to go as I throw one out of one sleeve at her. When I continue spinning, I will throw one at this guy straight ahead of me.
Okay.
That's going to be 18 with the range penalty.
18. That does hit.
All right. And hell yeah. 1d2, so it's at least 50-50 to do max damage. 4 damage to him as well.
All right, -4. All right.
As I'm just going to then sink down into a stance.
All right. Renard.
All right. I'm going to summon my rapier in my left hand, in my right hand, a
Mhm.
dagger in my left, and I want to run over to this guy over here, and I want to stab him with the dagger and the rapier, and then I want to bite him.
Okay. Did you take a 5-foot step to get there? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to stab him? Okay, go ahead.
All right. The rapier is, oh my god, that's a 19. That crits, actually.
Nice. Crit confirm.
Crit confirm is only a 6.
Nope, doesn't crit confirm, so it just hits him.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
What? Are we doing Pathfinder rules on crits? Or. Because I didn't think crit confirm was in Pathfinder.
I'm pretty sure it is. I've read the rules a couple of I'm pretty sure it's in Pathfinder, unless I'm
Oh yeah,
misunderstanding.
it's there.
Okay, just
Yeah.
continue. Sorry.
Yeah, we're doing crit
Alright.
confirms.
It's all good. Okay. I should roll all the attacks first, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Typically, it's better to roll all the attacks, see what hits, and then add up the damage after that.
All right. 14 for the dagger.
Okay, that hits.
All right.
No, it
And
misses. That misses.
okay, got it. And finally, the bite attack. I know I get -5 to this roll, so here we go. Yeah, that's an 8. I didn't think so.
All right.
But
So how much
as-
damage does your rapier do?
As for the rapier, that only does 2 damage. I'm getting
Alright.
warmed up.
So right next to the shuriken sticking out of this poor woman's neck, you run your rapier
Rum.
through one of the parts on her side, and so she kind of looks into your eyes, her like kind of blue eyes piercing to yours. She goes, "Good, you will need that strength." Risotto, what do you do?
All right. The guy, this guy with the helmet, he's standing on the ground normal, right?
Well, he's not standing. He is a helmet. He's a floating helmet.
Okay. This guy over here, is he standing?
Yeah, he's
Normally?
standing. He's got a big mace and a shield.
Okay, I'm gonna move up here, and I'm gonna cast the glue seed on this guy.
All right. What does that do?
I'll just copy the spell. Into the chat.
All right. Let's see. All right.
There. So he
Glue
has
seed.
must succeed a reflex save or be entangled.
All right. Creatures. The spell comes to creature could get him. All right. What is the DC for his reflex save?
It would be 15, but as an Arcanist, I can burn some of my Arcanist points and increase DC. And
All
because
right.
I have an expert called the Potent, I can increase it by 2, so it's 17.
17. Nice. So let's see. 17.
I
Let's make.
scream and hold out my finger. And,
He just makes it. He rolled a 17 with a +0 to reflex.
Oh,
So I am sorry. So he jumps out of the way of your spell. Yep. Is there anything on a save? Saving throw, see text, and reflex saving throw still saving throw succeeds. The item is unaffected. If it fails, the item is stuck in place. Okay, so he has to move, otherwise he'll have to remake it. So there is a block of harder ground.
there is a sticky spot where he was standing.
Yeah, so there is now a sticky spot, and he has to get out of there before if he doesn't want to be stuck there. So we'll put that sticky spot. All right, that brings it to his turn, and yeah, he's gonna get out of there. What does he do? He's going to what do you got? He is going to run over to. He's got only 20 foot of movement, so he's going to move over to here, and he is going to draw. No, he's going to cast. He's going to cast command to you, Raikanu,
okay.
and you need to make a DC 14 will save as he shouts, "Drop it!"
Ah, shit. Okay. I've got a 13. Ah, that's
Nope.
a shame.
So you are currently holding your short sword and your rapier, your hands struggling
Dagger and
against
rapier.
your dagger and rapier, your hands struggling against your own will. Your hands release and your weapons clatter to the ground, seemingly not teleporting back this time.
All right.
That brings us to Kyra. You are now unarmed, Raikanu.
All right, that's fine. I have more weapons.
Can I move and attack or no?
Yes, you may. You are now in this. You are in this Asimar's threatened zone, but you can still move and attack, as long as you don't move out of the threatened zone.
How far do I have to move for it to count like a bonus thing?
The flank.
You cannot currently flank. You would have to be directly across from him, which you could make, but he is not armed right now, so he is not threatening her in melee. Actually,
right,
no,
right.
he is
He has-
armed.
He has
You
a
have
bite.
you have your
I
bite.
have a
attack.
bite attack.
So yes, if you move, you can move right back there and make a single attack.
Let's
I can do
go,
that.
Dream Team.
Yes, you can. You can only make a single attack.
Spear, I feel like isn't gonna be as damaging, especially this close.
Your spear actually does do more damage.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it just has less to hit. It does 1d8 plus strength. Your ability that you're other talking about does 1d4 plus strength, and you can only use it once because you're
Okay
moving.
then.
So
Okay.
the spear would be better in this situation.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Sorry,
Yeah,
I've
it's okay.
never used a spear.
That's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead move
Okay.
over here.
You get a +2 bonus, I believe, for flanking.
Okay.
So it's d20 +4 to attack, if I remember reading your sheet correctly.
Wait, what?
It is a d20 plus 4 to attack.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
D20 plus 4. I think 22.
22. That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. It'll be one of the diamond ones plus 2.
Diamond. Oh, the 8. Okay. Okay. So that is 7. So I strike with my sun spear moving across, and I address Raikano saying, "Do you always strike a lady's kill before the first date?"
Flirting and fighting, just my style.
That's 7 to hit, or 7 damage, I guess.
Yep. She goes down as you attack her, as she falls to the ground, trying to clutch and grab at the ground. Good work.
Nice.
All right, now it's the helmet's turn.
It's Dark Helmet.
It's Dark Helmet.
Wow, I was just saying it was her kill. I didn't actually think she would kill her.
That was pretty sick.
Wrenches the flaming spear through its chest cavity. Don't steal my kill on a first date.
Kill
Before
steal.
the first date.
So this thing, it flies over here,
Oh,
Bitch.
Jesus.
I haven't
And it-
yelled at it.
and it uses its breath weapon in a 15-foot line. I was thinking it could hit you, but it can't. It's going to do a 15-foot line, and it's going to use cold damage. Risotto, you need to make a reflex save.
Okay, reflex.
See how long it takes for this to recharge. 2,
That would be a 12.
First impression.
12. You just make it as this
Ooh.
line of just frost and cold energy comes out, and you take 2 damage.
Hold on. Damn it, I need to find something real quick. I actually have...
Cold resistance.
Yeah.
I have Celestial Resistance, 5 resistance.
All right, so you take no damage.
To my
Nice.
surprise, actually.
What? Oh, you're quite surprised. So there you go.
Yeah,
So this line of cold hits you. You go, ah! Oh, not so bad. All right, now it's to the top of the round. She's going to make a death saving throw.
Gotta love that.
Oh yeah, let's see if she makes it. That's a nope. So she loses another hit point. Indra, your turn.
I am going to just like running charge drop kick this thing.
All right, go ahead and go for it.
Whoa. Using the wrong button.
I know it's weird when you measure it and then don't measure it.
Holy crap, I love this die. That's 23,
Damn,
armor
that
class?
hits.
and then
Oh shoot.
that's going to be 8 damage as my foot I'm going to come like running in, leap, and just catch it with a side kick right into the helmet. That is all it is for 7 damage.
Oh, boom. And as you kick him in the head, and you can hear the bong as your foot hits it, but you can see he's like, oh, as it like holds his head. Good job.
Wait,
Raikkonen,
what's he holding his head with?
like he has a shield in one arm, and so he's kind of like putting it out, like the shield is strapped to your arm.
Oh,
so you
sorry. I
Oh,
thought
I
this
thought
was
it was
the
just a
floating
floating
helmet.
head.
No,
too.
no,
I
the,
was like,
the floating head, the floating head's over here, guys.
Oh, okay.
gotcha.
What's he holding the floating head with?
I was like,
His floating arms?
tentacles appear out from under the helmet, and he steadies
Oh,
himself.
God.
Oh no!
Oh, my God.
I see too much further where
Um,
that goes.
I assume we want to kill these guys, right?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with.
We got brought back from the death. I'm sure they will be okay if I kick their asses really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go focus on someone else.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna run over here, but before I do, I'm going to say to Kyra, best you finish what you started and nod down to the unconscious body there. And while I'm running over here, I'm just gonna summon the short sword in my right hand and another dagger in my left hand. And I assume since I moved 20 feet, I can only make one attack
Yes.
this turn. Okay. So I'm just going to hit it with the short sword.
All right.
And I should have picked up the rapier. That was an 18. I would have crit with the rapier. Oh well.
All right.
That's
That
fine.
hits.
And 5 damage.
Damn, nice. As you run forward, you watch as he drops to the ground as you cut into his body, and he falls down to the ground. Nice job. All right, Risotto.
Okay, I'm going to move. Yeah, I'm just booking it away from this guy over here. So instead, I'm gonna cast enlarge person on.
Oh my god.
Damn it! Sorry, what was your character's name really?
Indra,
Indra, right? I'm gonna cast enlarge person.
you're my
Copy that.
favorite person in the whole
Oh
world.
my god, a big bunny.
All
Oh
right.
my god.
Does it make him a large creature?
It makes him a large creature. He gains a +2 size bonus to
Ah.
strength. Hold on, I just copy it. And your fist now counts as a die higher.
Yep, I'm actually looking up that die right now.
Nice. That's
All right.
perfect for monks.
Do you actually have a flurry of blows yet?
Do I have what?
Flurry of blows, or is that a later
Yes,
ability?
that's actually what I did in the first turn. I flurried of blows, and that's how I threw 2 shuriken.
Oh God. All right. So
This is gonna be
Risotto,
great.
you throw out your hand, and Indra, you feel your body like surge with just energy and size, and just vroom, over this body that just got killed, and you turn towards the small looking helmet over there, and you are ready. You just like crack your knuckles, like yeah. All right, this guy, he needs.
Raikkonen is just gonna start chanting drop kick, drop kick.
He makes a death saving throw and passes, so he stabilizes. All right, Kyra, you're up.
Oh gosh, what to do about her? See,
Killer.
The
Finish
sun
what you
says
started.
good night.
do we want these people to die? Are these just
Listen, I don't think they're gonna die. They're like celestial beings. They're probably gonna fight.
what?
Yeah,
How do I
I don't-
figure that out, Caleb? Would I know that?
You don't know. You have to make a religion check.
I
Oh
don't
my
know if
god.
these deaths are permanent or not.
You're in a different plane of existence to which you have no familiarity with. You would have to make a religion check to kind of know if
If
they would
I-
die or not.
I leave her, will she come to attack again?
You don't know. You know that she is currently dying on the ground and is attempting to make, rules wise, she's trying to make her death saving throws. She's not going to stand back up though unless somebody heals her. So you have a couple of options. You can leave her, and if she makes her death saving throws, she's just not going to die just bleeding out. If somebody heals her, she can get back up and start fighting again. You can also coup de grace her because she is helpless right now, and you can just immediately kill her.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will just go ahead and do that then.
All right, what do you do?
I say, rest well, Moonling, and I stab her right beneath where the weak point of the armor is and beneath her throat.
All right, you jam your spear in underneath part of the armor, and her form just turns to dust as she disappears from the battlefield.
Nice.
All right. I would say you still have your movement left.
How far can I move?
30 feet.
I can't really go that far, so I guess I'll just move here.
Okay.
30 feet.
All right, let's see. All right, this ticks down. Now, so this guy is going to, with his 60 foot of movement,
Holy
Oh
crap.
boy.
he's going to
That's
fly over here.
fast.
Whoop, and he's going to try and bonk you in the head there, Risotto.
Ah,
What's your AC?
let me see. It's a 12.
12. All right. He hits you. Risotto, you take 1 damage.
Which is still 1/7 of the damage, so he
Yes.
just beats my nose in. Whoa! Nosebleed.
Yeah, it rears back and bonks you in the head. This thing, its damage is 1d4, 1d3 minus 4. So-
Jesus.
My God. What?
Oh, but it still visibly hurts me, so.
yeah. Yeah, because you have like 7 HP. Indra, your turn.
So unfortunately, I can't flurry of blows this because it's too far away. But what you can see is a bunny like kind of squat down a little bit and then just like fucking lightning off of these legs just come barreling at you. But I have that wrong tool. God damn it.
Ah.
But the fist is like actually I could hit it from here. The fist is going to can I hit it from there? Let me
Yeah, if you're a large sized creature and you have arms, you can hit it from there. You got reach now.
you're just going to see like massive arm just come in walloping at this thing, and we'll see if it hits. With a natural 20.
All right, crit confirm.
All right, that's the thing. That's most likely a confirm. You said this increases the. Oh, well, I'm not. So does an 18 confirm?
It does.
Okay.
Nice.
So. Let me make sure I'm doing that math right. Okay, that's going to be 18 damage as I just come in
Oh my
and
lord.
Holy
just
crap.
full tilt boogie, leap at this thing and just slug it straight in the face.
All right. With your single with your single hit, this thing at full HP, even with its 5 damage resistance, you one-shot it as
Oh
you
my
come
God.
crashing down on this helmet. And there's like this crunching metal sound as you just like flatten this thing to the ground and just kind of, like the sound that, tin cans make when you crush them and you drop on the ground and go and they stop moving. That's what this makes. It's flat. And you guys just fucking killed them all.
As
Can
I'm
I
kind
do
of
one thing?
sure.
What do you want to do?
I want to kill the one that's next to me by dropping a dagger on it and saying, "Oops, I dropped my weapon again."
You drop your dagger on it, and you just hear as his body turns into mist. You just hear, "You fucker."
As my fist is still outstretched and the thing is like crumpled and a few feet away, I'm going to look down at what do you look like, Risotto? Just
I am a pretty scruffy guy. Most people would probably not guess I'm a wizard
mhm.
if I didn't carry around a staff with a pot on it.
Did you say
I
a pot?
have scruffy red hair to my ears, and I look pretty disheveled all the time.
So you're
I'm really
Caleb.
cold. I have bags under my eyes.
Gotcha. Still in that kind of like punching motion, I'm going to look down at you and be like, "Are you all right?"
I'm fine. I'm kind of lifting up my nose, so you tilt up your head so it doesn't bleed as much.
I will kind of nod and then look around to make sure that there's no other scary things as I tower over the battlefield.
How long does that last?
Not long enough.
1 minute.
1 minute. All right. So this conversation, you'll be very large there for a bit.
Oh man,
appears.
he
I de-
just appeared right in front of me. Jeez.
Yeah, the like tower, the seat, like in him appears, and you see that he is smiling. He looks at you all and kind of raises his hand up and he says, "Return to the mortal realm. You have passed. Find the evil and eradicate it. And then save this world." And as you look up, you see passing over the top of the temple, you would expect to see a moon, but instead you see this orb that it almost you're kind of not, you guys, none of you would actually be familiar with this. It's like it's in the same place the moon would be, except that it's got these, it's like a perfect circle with greens and blues. You can see what looks like you would see, it looks like oceans, land masses. It looks like a map stretched out on top of a moon, and you realize this must be your world passing above you. And then in an instant, you feel you all yourselves become lighter, and your bodies feel like they're being stretched and pulled, and the orb in the sky becomes larger and larger and larger and larger until you feel like you're going to slam into it. And then your world goes black. And that's where we're going to end the game today.
Yay.
All
That was
right.
fun.
Did you just say that Risotto had like pot on his staff?
He had a pot
Yeah,
on his
it's
staff.
like it's like a symbol for a hedge wizard.
That's beautiful.
Oh, okay.
No, he doesn't have a pot leaf on his staff. He had a pot.
No,
my
not
God.
a pot like that. I mean,
All right,
like
we're going to end the
a
recording
teapot.
there, Sarah. Hope you enjoyed.